Things have escalated overnight following yesterday's episode of The Final Takeaway. In that video, we updated you on Venezuela's referendum, which has now been approved. You're watching The Final Takeaway. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share our videos to spread awareness about the escalating rift between Guyana and its neighboring country, Venezuela. We appreciate your support as always. Things are escalating with Venezuelan's leader, President Maduro, declaring a decision to seize and take over Essequibo, an oil-rich territory belonging to the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Let's get right into what's happening on the ground. We will explore 4 new developments that happened overnight. But first, a look back at the referendum that led to where we are today. President Maduro declared victory on the December 3rd referendum to annex Essequibo and noted that the people have spoken loud and clear and what he called an overwhelming support for the plan to take back Guyana Essequibo. In other words, the citizens overwhelmingly agreed by way of voting for Venezuela to do 5 things, with the most significant and disturbing request on the ballot being to seize Essequibo, a territory that was awarded to Guyana under the 1899 Paris Tribunal Arbitration Award. Within 72 hours of holding the referendum, Venezuela has declared plans to take Essequibo unilaterally and by force. Here are the 4 major updates to note since the approval of Sunday's votes to annex the oil-rich territory of Guyana, which they call Guyana Essequibo. Number 1. Yesterday, Maduro told the country that the next move is making and passing laws in parliament to annex Essequibo. Number 2. The leader ordered the publication of new maps showing Essequibo as part of its territory. Number 3. Mr. Maduro orders oil drilling in the location of the disputed territory. More specifically, he ordered Venezuela's state-owned companies to grant licenses to conduct oil exploration in Essequibo. And number 4, the president proposes a special law to ban companies with concession to drill for oil in Guyana. The leader made the declaration last evening on Venezuelan's state TV network. He said once the law passes, companies granted concessions have 3 months to withdraw from Essequibo. According to him, these companies are exploiting resources without Venezuelans' permission. As you may know, ExxonMobil holds the largest concession in Guyana. They are the operator of the Stabroek, Kanji, and Kaichor blocks offshore. Speaking about the referendum, Maduro reassured the country that, and I'm quoting here, "This referendum is binding and I accept the people's mandate." He went on to say, "Now we really are going to recover Venezuela's historic rights in Guyana Essequibo." All of these statements and plans have implications for the sovereignty of Guyana, its oil-rich region, its wealth, its dignity, and most of all, the safety of people residing in Essequibo. We understand that fear level is rising in Guyana as the citizens remain antsy and vigilant as they watch, wait, pray, and hope Maduro refrains from seizing the region of land currently in dispute. Essequibo makes up 2/3 of Guyana. It is home to over 100,000 people and is a sacred grounds for the indigenous people who live mainly in that location of Guyana. In a late night address to the nation, Guyana's President Irfaan Ali said the country is vigilant and on high alert. He further stated that Venezuela has clearly declared itself an outlaw nation and his country is prepared for any eventuality. More importantly, Mr. Ali revealed the government would formally report the matter to the UN Security Council and the International Court of Justice today. On this note, Guyana's Attorney General Anil Nandlal pointed out that any action or any attempt to take any action pursuant to the referendum will necessitate a resort to the UN Security Council as an injured party. Speaking on local television a few days earlier, Vice President of Guyana Bara Jagdeo reassured Guyanese the country will defend itself by any means whatsoever if Venezuela tries to unilaterally alter the boundaries of Essequibo. Brazil, Guyana's other neighboring country, has amped up military presence at their border. On the World's Fair, the US and other countries are pretty much watching and waiting to see how the row between the two South American countries will play out. These new developments are a problem in light of a recent order by the World Court barring Venezuela from doing anything to fuel the border dispute. The referendum and now the declaration to annex Guyana, along with granting permission to Venezuelan companies to conduct oil exploration in Guyana's waters, may constitute a breach of the recent order issued to Venezuela by the International Court of Justice. On December 1st, the ICJ, also known as the World Court, ruled that Venezuela shall refrain from taking any action that can escalate the situation. Here's the actual ruling being read in court by President of the ICJ, Joan Donoghue.
The court indicates the following provisional measures. 1. Unanimously. Pending a final decision in the case, the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela shall refrain from taking any action which would modify the situation that currently prevails in the territory in dispute, whereby the Cooperative Republic of Guyana administers and exercises control over that area.
Although the court failed to explicitly address the referendum, which was scheduled for 2 days after the ruling, legal analysts suggest that the order not to take any action may have included not to hold a referendum that explicitly asks voters to agree on an invasion and annexation of Essequibo, Guyana. Here's the final takeaway. I feel strongly that the ICJ could have been more explicit about what acts may amount to a violation of the ruling set out in the provisional measures and addressed specifically to Venezuela on December 1st. This could have been their opportunity to put stringent versus ambiguous measures in place to hold Maduro's government accountable for operating in contravention of the court's decision. Mr. Maduro and his government would vehemently disagree. They don't treat the World Court as having the power to sort out this particular dispute. In fact, they emphatically reject the court's jurisdiction through the referendum. This goes against their own formal acceptance of the court as having power to hear the case. It also goes against their agreement under the 1966 Geneva Agreement to work together with diplomacy with Guyana to sort out this dispute in a peaceful manner. The Bolivarian Republic also rejects the 1899 arbitration award that granted Essequibo to Guyana. Back then, it was ruled by Britain and known as British Guyana. Legal experts argue that Venezuela is a sovereign country and have the right to take matters of law and politics to the people for them to decide. The Guyana government also had no issue with the Bolivarian Republic holding its referendum. The problem arose from question number 5 on the ballot, which asked citizens to agree to annex Guyana's territory. I don't think any country would feel comfortable with a referendum that brazenly aims at taking its territory. In addition to that, many people are saying this territory has always been in dispute, and some claim Venezuela is the rightful owner of Essequibo. Guyana continues to rely on the 1899 award that granted the then British Guyana sovereign rights to Essequibo and the rest of Guyana as it currently appears on the globe. For more information on what's driving Maduro's government's plan to take Essequibo, skip over to my video hub. Perhaps you can start with the one that explores why Venezuela wants to annex Essequibo. Is it oil, gas, and greed, or is it fear by Maduro that he will likely lose the upcoming national elections to opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, and is therefore using the age-old border dispute as a diversion to gain favor among Venezuelan voters? That's all for now. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.